scattered around Dan. They're holding that close to their vest for obvious reasons. They're doing that nationwide. They don't want hysteria to take over and whatever. So, you know, we're doing good in Texas. Didn't do so good in El Paso. Didn't do so good in Lubbock. Amarillo is just starting to expand this virus. But the medical people's got a hold of it, and we just hope for the best.
I'm talking about the different treatments, the one shot versus the two shot. Will Tarrant County get both of those treatments, or just one at first?
It depends. Here, very near future, Jensen will not be available. Jensen would probably be available in about 90 to 120 days. And many of these are going to be that long for many of us. You know, so.
Pfizer's coming first. It's ready.
Yeah.
It's on its way.
Yeah. So, not to take up a lot of time, because I know everybody would like to get home. I know I would.
Well, let's go.
And, well, Cowboys, kind of disappointing, isn't it? But anyway, but there was some talk about the garage sales. Let me share with y'all about the garage sales. Marvin and I get the numbers every day on what's available. I track those numbers, and what was going on at this specific time was, and still is now, people would come in and want to apply for a garage sale permit, okay? Well, what we started doing is we started comparing where the positives were and where's the garage sale. A lot of the garage sales that were being applied for were positives. They were supposed to be in isolation. But instead, they were going and opening it up for people to come buy their goods.
Need money, probably.
So, no, I don't think so. I just think it's what people like to do. But is it worth subjecting your other population, 255, 100 people at a time in a day? So, I know there's been some controversy or some comments, why was this? So, that's the reason why I mentioned it tonight.
The other thing I've heard mentioned is
We don't get the information of who's got the cases, or is it just a number?
yes.
Yes, and we have ever since day one. That's required by the health department.
I wasn't aware of that. I thought you just got a number of people. I mean,
No, and this is not to be shared outside of the two people that have those numbers.
okay.
So, I mean, that's the way the health department likes it. I guess if the health department wants to change it or whatever. So in other words, when we're looking, my point being, while we're looking at these people coming in and applying for these, we have to be very careful because we can't say an address. And a lot of times the road is touchy, like if it's like Dennis Road, for instance. That would be a possible problem. So it's a very tightly held thing. And but anyway, does anybody have any questions on that? I won't work on that too long, or anything else.
James, I drive by here a lot, because I got 2 jobs and all that, and I sure see yours and Marvin's car here pretty late at night. I'd like to thank the both of y'all for working on this. We may not all agree on everything, but I do appreciate the hard work on this and getting us the numbers.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
It's a trying, it's a demanding situation, and sometimes it's a little tough.
Well, I mean, some of this spike stuff, the only reason I say there might be some disagreements, I haven't quit working this whole time. So y'all all know I drive to Arlington and I come back. I've watched people take this seriously. They didn't take it seriously in January, February, but in March they started. And they're really serious now. I don't go in any place in Arlington. They're not wearing masks. They're not separating. So I don't understand this explosion again when I'm watching people do what they're begging everybody to do, at least in our bubble, or my bubble, anyway.
Right.
I can tell you, some of our travels have been to rural areas. And I've been into places that have all the, go into a grocery store, for instance, all the signs are up there, all the social distancing. My wife and I walked in to get something we needed, both wearing masks, and you thought we were aliens.
Sure.
We turned around looking like, and there wasn't a person in the place wearing a mask other than us.
Well, those are the differences in our society, you know, and
But I'm thinking some of the rural areas are thinking that it's not out here, that's the city people, you know, but here we're two city people and a few others.
Hood County's got,
Visiting their town too, you know.
yeah, Hood County's gone up quite a bit. Yeah, and most of the people that I know in Hood County, they didn't ever think it'd get anywhere like this. You know, they go, oh, no, it's not gonna happen.
But most of those people there are commuting to Fort Worth anyway.
Yeah,
They're exposed during the day.
Well, they spent such a hard time trying to tell everybody to not get the shot, they're gonna have a hard time convincing them to take it now.
Sure.
And they're saying now it's 55, 60% say they might.
Well, we've got a lot of room
That they need.
we've got a lot of room for manufacturing, so any of those delays, I'm sure, will be put to a better situation by making more vaccine while those people, try to decide whether they want it or not. So, you know. Any other questions? Dan, did you have something?
Steve.
I just noticed I've had 5 people I know in the last 10 days now have died. 3 of them are younger than me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chief.
I just want to offer one additional perspective. I handle emergency management for the city of Richland Hills, so James and I see a lot of the same data every day. The county puts out a chart that shows every city in the county, the active cases, the recovered cases, and the deaths. And I think it's worth noting, River Oaks is definitely no exception, but most all cities in Tarrant County have seen a 700 to 1,000% increase in the number of active cases in their community since Labor Day to today.
That is true.
Over the last 90 days, the number of active cases in most communities is up 7 to 10 times what it was on Labor Day. And we see recoveries every day, but in the community where I work full-time, our recoveries are 3 or 4 a day, and we're adding a dozen or so cases a day, so we have a 3-to-1 increase many days. So I just think that's something to keep in mind, but one thing that I would say is going in the right direction for and Richland Hills both is that we are seeing we're seeing more active cases, but we're also seeing more recoveries. And knock on wood, we are not seeing increases in our death count. The one and only death in River Oaks, if I remember correctly, was very early on in this tracking, and it's very similar to Richland Hills. So just something to keep in mind as you're looking at these numbers and considering what they mean.
Right.
And I would like to add, I had a friend also this past week pass away from it at the age of 77. So, I mean, you know, James states the ages and what you're, you know, you're likely to recover from it. So, as you're older, it's worse on you. And I will say at the age of 55, it really took me down for a while.
Well, I certainly appreciate everybody doing what they have done. I hope you do more to protect your own families and friends. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it sure looks that way. All I am is I'm an observer, and I speak to what I have observed. So this is not something that I hope and wish for. It's not something that I play tennis with. I take it very serious.